Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday, continuing bunkai for Pinan Godan. Talked last week. First, I want to take a little look at some of the wrist gripping matrix, if you will. So, as me being the grabber, hands forward, okay? So the wrist gripping matrix starts above the wrist, around the wrist with my fingers inward, cross, around the fist with my fingers outward, across. Then the same thing, inward, outward. From those positions, we learn to turn and twist his body, okay? Now, when someone gets really sweaty, Max never does, I might not be able to grip it. My next in the matrix, and this goes to the application of Tweety, is to come down to the back of the hand. So my pinky is around his wrist, and then my thumb and three fingers are around the back of his hand. So we go cross, or we go straight in. So we have the twisting motions with my fingers straight in, twisting motions with my fingers across, okay? And then the same thing to the other side. So I've moved from the wrist, above the wrist, to the back of the hand, okay? And that's basically my grip matrix for the wrist. Defensively, if he's grabbed me, this applies pretty much only to if he's above my wrist. So he grabs straight across above my wrist. I can go three ways: outside, inside, or up to regrip, okay? He grabs across, I can go outside, inside, or up. From each of those positions then, I practice. Let's move closer to right here, so you see, okay? So when he grabs, I have outside, which I can either regrip him here or pin his hand and regrip, and we've seen this one, okay? I can go inside, turn to cont'd, okay? Or I can go up, in which case I can turn my hand here in the other two matrices, which I did before, okay? Same thing on straight across. I go out, I go in, or I go up. Those are essentially the grip/regrip positions. Now there is a third. When he grabs straight across, we have the slap and pull. Now I have the underneath of the wrist. Typically, if I'm doing the attack, I'm not typically going to be grabbing under the wrist. That will happen only on a regrip. So that's another part of the matrix here, okay? Coming in and under. Now, if I slide down, then we have this knuckle pressure into the tendons just below the wrist, okay? We have some grip pressure there. I also can effectively, by putting, it doesn't take a lot. If he's making a fist, if I put pressure here, it releases the fist. Now I can switch and go into. So that's essentially my matrix. He's hands forward. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, grabbing him. He's grabbed me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cross grab. Simple escape, but 1, 2, 3. Cross grab. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Then we work with how we grip and regrip to go into our Tweety joint locking manipulation movements from there. So that said, now I wanted to cover that because I mentioned it last week. So in the Kata, we've just done block punch. Come here. Now we're stepping forward, cross block down, cat stance, and so forth. So we're just going to look at this position, which I've talked about before. We're going to use the kumikata. Now we could do block strike, then grab, still okay as well, okay? So with my attacker, and we're going to be going right side here. So maybe let's do the wrist matrix. I'm going to come to the inside here, right? Boom, okay, so punch, Now I get my grab, okay? So we can get there a variety of ways, but we're going to go ahead and start in the Kata position. From here, I'm going to do inside kouchigari. Okay? Once he's down, I'm stepping to my front stance and doing a cross block, which becomes a knee on his groin. Here, let's dance back a little bit. Okay? Yeah, let's start over. Okay. So we're going to just go ahead and start from here. Again, we can work on how we get to this engagement position. When I have his collar, I also have my thumb in his throat. So I can create some kuzushi, some imbalance. Let's turn this way. You can come here, dance with me. All right. So once I'm here, I can create some imbalance with my thumb into his throat. Then I can do either outside, ko sotogari, ko soto, outside, or I can do o uchi, inside. Okay. So if I imbalance in this way, let's dance back over now. This knee moves. That makes it very easy for me to kick the back of it in a ko sotogari. From here I drop. Now pivot. From here I'm going to drop and do my cross block, which becomes juji gatame, or a cross hand choke. I reach deeply into his gi, and then I twist my hands and roll these knuckles on each hand into the carotid on the side of his neck, and it also compresses the windpipe. Let's go this side. So again, we start, boom, kuzushi, a little bit of balance. Maybe the punch from here as I go into the grab. Something as a diversionary, distracting, imbalancing engagement technique. Pull the leg, drop to the knee, coming into my cross hand position. And let's do this standing up on camera. So my cross hand position here could be just a strike, but I'm coming in, gripping the collar, and then my knuckles are rolling into the sides of his neck. Okay? Right there. When he's on the ground. Now, what if he doesn't have a gi? All right, then I just strike him. I can pull the back of the neck with one hand while I drive with the other. Okay? I'll pull the back of the neck with this hand while I drive with the other. Even if it's just his t-shirt, but I don't want to rip his shirt. Okay? So, the whole technique, however I get into the engagement, whether he's wrist grab and I block a punch, whether he throws a punch, block strike, double strike, whatever gets me here. Get the grip. Put the pressure, turn the balance, take the leg, drop to the groin. Now, the other thing I could do, because I held onto his sleeve here, I can drive this across his body, rolling my knuckles into the base of his triceps, and then just strike. Here. Okay? I can do that first, or I can let it go and immediately drop and go into the choke. Okay? Arigatou gozaimasu. That is today's Pinan Godan bunkai. Thank you for joining. Like, share, subscribe, explain. If you don't like, tell me why. I hate getting thumbs down, and I do. I mean, I understand that. Some people are not going to like what I do. But if you give me a thumbs down, at least have the courtesy to tell me why. Maybe I can address it, fix it, help you, answer, discuss. So, like, share, subscribe, and until next week, as always, let's keep practicing.